Would you give me a number? Like 1 to 99?
45.
45. Pale blue upon clean white and perfumed smoke. Groen still rees out thou na o. Contact hear me through thy hidden niches, particles, corners, doorways, cornices, and interstices, agreeing mohors and hu grar stay be mahu na ta tornak, John blesh na o ai na no karnak bray bria deal corte la eo in food fra the deeps, the huge high silences, the huge low silences, the silence of gror, the thumb, the depth gras is empty nur. I want to say another thing about these. Shortly after these had been written, Allen Ginsberg introduced me to Mark Rothko, field painter. And I thought that maybe Mark Rothko was the only one who could fully appreciate these poems visually. And I got Mark Rothko's phone number from him. This was at a party in New York. And of course, being that age when you do such things, I immediately lost his phone number. So he didn't ever see them, but I look at these, and for me, fields of letters have the same presence as fields in some abstract expressionists or field paintings. And then I'm looking at I look at them. So it's a book of 99 visual experiences too. You don't have to read them out loud. I like more and more. I enjoy looking at them, and then the words in caps pop out sometimes, and they spring, and it's like it's like it would be maybe more like Pollock than Rothko in some cases. Words will spring out and bring ideas, like bring images or ideas to me, and I enjoy them that way enormously. Maybe some of you will, and maybe you won't.
Would you read the short introduction from the first edition?
Sure. Yeah, I will. I have a request to read the short introduction from the first edition. There's a long introduction of this edition. 6 pages. Well, you've never heard anything like this before. These are my personal songs, but anyone can sing them. Pronounce them as they are spelled, and don't worry about details. Use a natural voice and let vibrations occur. They come from a swirling ball of silence that melds with outer sounds and thought. They were written in kitchens and bedrooms and front rooms and airplanes and a couple in Mexico City. Their purpose is to bring beauty and change the shape of the universe. I was here and I liked it. It was all okay. I suffered. There were scents and flowers and textures, beautiful women. I was a handsome man. I invented love. I radiated genius for those who saw me with loving eyes. I was happy. I laughed and cried. Constantly new sights and sounds. I trembled and sweated at the sight of beauty. I laughed at strong things because I loved them, wanting to kick them in and make freedom. When I'm gone. Don't resurrect me, or the duplicates of my atoms. It was perfect. I am sheer spirit. Thank you. A little bit more of that first introduction. Poetry is a muscular principle and a revolution for the body, spirit, and intellect and ear. Making images and pictures, even when speaking with melody, is not enough. There must be a poetry of pure beauty and energy that does not mimic, but joins and exhorts reality and states the daily higher vision. to dim the senses, and to listen to inner energies aroar is sometimes called the religious experience. It does not matter what it is called. Laughter, as well as love, is passion. The loveliness the nose snuffs in air may be translated to sound by interior perceptive organs. The touch of velvet on the fingertips may become a cry when time is stopped. Speed like calmness may become pleasure or gentle muffled sound. A dahlia or fern might become pure speech and meditation. A woman's body might become the sound of worship. A goddess lies coiled at the base of man's body, and pure tantric sound might awaken her. There are no laws but living, changing ones, and any system is a touch of death. Read these poems as you would read Lorca or Mayakovsky or D.H. Lawrence, but read aloud and sing them. These are spontaneous stanzas published in the order and with the natural sound in which they were first written. If there is an H, simply say a loud, long ooh. If there is a gar, G-A-H-R, simply say gar, G-A-R, and put an H in. Look at stanza 51. That was the one that began. I love to think of the red purple rose and darkness cooled by the night. Look at stanza 51. It begins in Ing language. Begins in English and turns into beast language. Star becomes star. Body becomes booty. Nose becomes nose. Everybody knows how to pronounce no, or burna, or garumi. Pronounce sounds as they are spelled and don't worry about details. Let individual pronunciations and vibrations occur. Don't look for secret meanings. Read them aloud that there will be more pleasure. That's the introduction of the first edition. I'm going to read two more. They're also good. I like this one because Terry Riley and I did an album. Terry Riley, the great composer, and I did an album. And we named it I Like Your Eyes, Liberty. Because one of the things we did on the album was by reading a number of these beast language poems. So here's the one we were quoting on that album. All right, we quoted to name it. 67. Pale pearl pink on the walls, and our daydreams projected outward in solid reality. We hear, we touch, we breathe. Partitions rustle, and we do not care among the creakings and thumps. Na creo thors, for we are incarnate joys. Rag triumph. Each nostril is a booming perfection. The blackened skulls and rusty bolts are only a background for neat warmth that passes for something more. I like your eyes, Liberty. Steam drips the window in front of utter darkness. That's so deep it's cool and sweet. Forget it. Take more wings, love. I think a lot of you might have seen me on the web reading to 4 lions at the San Francisco Zoo, which is how the writing of these began when I was with Bruce Conner at the San Francisco Zoo in 1962. And we were going to the zoo to record snow leopard growls, and got a lot of good rooster calls too. I love the rooster, little black banded rooster, sort of almost walking among the cages of that snow leopards. And the snow leopard growl was horrendously beautiful. I later made a kind of a sound poem out starting a sports car, melding into, or like the sound of the snow leopard melting into sports car sound. Somewhere in the background there's a little rooster. Grrr. And but while we were there, the lion keeper came by, and he was a poet. We hadn't met each other yet, and he said, "What are you doing?" And we explained to him. He said, "Come over and read to the lions." And there was nobody in the lion house, so we had it all to ourselves. So he's in there saying, "Hey, Mom, look at that one! Wow!" And the stuff that you would ordinarily hear in the lion house. And I read the poem to him. I don't think, no. I don't read it that way anymore, at all. It's interesting though, because a year or two afterwards, after Tiger had killed the lions, big mistake at the zoo, they asked me to come and teach some young some cubs how to roar, because there were no adult lions. One of the great misfortunes of my life, I was not well at the time and couldn't do it. Anyway, the poem starts like this, and I'm not sure I can do it. If I can't, I can't. But this will be the last one. Check me out. Silence the eyes. Now listen to what I'm really saying. Listen to what is really being said here. Silence the eyes. Become the senses. Drive drool from the fresh repugnance. Thou whole, thou feeling creature. Live not for others, but affect thyself from thy enhanced interior, believing what thou carry. Thy trillionic multitude of gra, whooshes and silences. Oh, you are heavier and dimmer than you knew, and more solid and full of pleasure. Grar, 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 grar. Grar, 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 grar. Grar, 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 grar.